Hi everyone, today we will learn about Unity 2D UI, Anchor and Pivot. I will simplify this because I think this is quite complicated and I want to simplify this. Okay, let's start. First, what is Anchor and Pivot? It is like a location to be hooked at, and it's also a location as reference point. On anchors hook to the parent of the object. Don't worry, it will become much clearer after this. Okay, let's see anchor and pivot on normal coordinate system. What I mean by normal coordinate system is zero coordinate for x and y is on the bottom left. And here we assume that we have a ball. The size is 1 by 1. This is the anchor on Unity. You can ignore a minimum and maximum right now, but just assume the x is 0 and the y is 0. The position is easy. X is 2 and y is 2, and the size also here, 1 by 1. How about the pivot? In this situation, we assume that the pivot is on the middle of the ball, like this. So it will become 0.5. The pivot is between 0 and 1. So the 0.5 is right on the middle of the ball. Basically, this is the summary of what we see on the Unity. You can see here, left bottom, this is our normal coordinate system. The position x and y, and we're not using the position z because we're on 2D screen. The size 1 by 1, like this, and the anchor minimum and maximum is still 0 for now because we're on the bottom left. Remember that. And the pivot is 0.5. We can ignore the rotation and scale for now. And if you wonder, this rect transform is on our ball. So in the ball property. Okay, let's start about the pivot. Like we already knew before, we made the ball with pivot 0.5 and 0.5. And here, when the pivot x is on 0, it means on the left of the ball, or the object. That's also the same with y. If the y becomes 0, it's like our anchor, right? It's on the bottom left. And if we change to 1 on the x pivot, it will become from the right. That's also again the same with the y. If value is 1, then it's on the top. So right now, it's like our anchor of the ball is on the top right. But this is what we call pivot, because this is hooked to the object. But the anchor is hooked to the parent object. Don't worry, again it will become clearer next. Now we're talking about anchor. If we see here, the anchor have 4 dot or 4 mark if you will. Why is that? It's because anchor has minimum and maximum, remember? Minimum for x and minimum for y, maximum for x and y too. Okay, again, we are starting with the normal coordinate system, which is 0 and 0. So this is the location you see. And on Unity is also like this. The ball size, I changed it to 50 and 50. It's make it easier to calculate and to present to you. The screen size is 800 by 600. Because of the ball pivot is on 0.5, it's right on the middle, so we can just put it 50 and 300. This is our ball position. 50 from the x, 300 from the y. Next, if we change the anchor to 0.5 and 0.5, it means our 0, 0 is on the center of the screen. Remember, anchor hooked to the parent object. in this case is the canvas of the screen, which is 800 and 600. That's why its 0, 0 coordinate is actually on 400 and 300. And the ball position follows from the anchor point. That's why the x become minus 350 because 400 is the center and it's 350 to the left. That's why it's become minus. And 0 for y because it's exactly on 300. Now let's say our coordinate is on the very top right. So the anchor will be 1 and 1, like this. So the ball position following the anchor. Before the normal coordinate, you know that it's on the 50 on the left, 50 on the x. It will become minus 750 because 800 minus 50. And the ball position for y also become minus 300 because it's from the top right. I think it's quite clear, right? And don't worry, the ball position is automatically adjusted when we change the anchor. Okay, now let's make it more complicated. Let's introduce minimum anchor and maximum anchor for the x first. So we have two anchor points, which is 0 and 1 for x. So it will become like this. Anchor x become 0.1 and anchor y still on 1, 1. 0 is a minimum and maximum is 1. And it may change to the ball position, of course. But how to calculate the position when there is two anchor points on the same angle? Basically, we just need to calculate it from the two angles. See, the ball position right now has two x position, which is left and right. Basically, left is the smaller anchor and right is the higher anchor. If we calculate the ball position from the left, x left is 50 because it's relative from the left and because the anchor of 0, okay? It's on 50 and relatively 750 from the right. That's why it doesn't use minus at all because relative to the right. And the y is still the same, we didn't change the anchor y. But I show you one and one like this on the y anchor. It's because no matter what, you will still see the minimum and maximum field. Then why I give it wrong here on the ball position? It's because this is if we just count on the anchor point position. But because of our anchor change, realistically the ball position didn't contain the ball size, right? When the anchor point change like this, we need to get the left of the ball and the right of the ball, not exactly on the center. That's why we need to calculate the left and right with the ball size too. Right now our pivot is on the middle of the ball. So we can count the left, the right, the true left position is the pivot point and minus half of the ball size, right? And we will get the left of the ball. So to calculate this is 50 right now position of the pivot and half of the ball size is 25. So x left will become 25 and the right position will become 725 because of 750 on the center here from the right and minus with the half of the ball size. So this is the right position. when there's two anchor on the same angle, we need to cover the left and right. Again, don't worry about this thing actually, but I want to let you know how it works. Because if not, you will be confused when you see the value changing when you change the anchor. This ball position automatically calculates all of it. Okay, next, we also introduce minimum and maximum Y anchor. Let's set it into 0 and 1. So it will become like this. And it's basically the same. The Y is relative from top and from bottom, and also minus the half of the ball size. So it will become 300 minus 25, and it will become 275. Okay, let's make this more complicated. Right now I just use 0 and 1, and it's easy, right? Because it's cover all the four corners. Let's make it harder. Right now I will change the anchor x minimum 0 and the maximum is 0.5. So it will become like this. You already knew all the calculations, so try to calculate the ball position. Pause the video, and after you're done, let's start it again. Okay, so this is the calculation. It will become 25 and 325. You got it right. It's quite clear, I think, but okay, I'll still describe it for you. So because we put it on 0.5, it basically takes the anchor to the half of the screen, so 400 in width. From the right, it is 325. 400 minus 50 and minus the half of the ball size. That's also the same for the left position. It's just like before, because the anchor is not changing. So that's it. It seems complicated, but it's quite simple, right? Anyway, if you have question or anything, just ask in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.